From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
And good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on the Noon News. I'm Andrea Lutz. We start this afternoon with a look outside as parts of Montana, including Billings, we'll be seeing some spectacular temperatures this week. This is a live look outside right now. Lots of sunshine and daytime temperatures gradually warming up as the week goes on. This after one of the snowiest Februarys on record for Montana, which is launching Montana into a very much spring-like March. We are going to check in on the weather with Miller Robson.
These are days that I can go into a grocery store and actually go into the canned food item and not have to duck people throwing stuff at me because I've got good news. Yeah, like she said, we've got warmer temperatures on the way. Now, usually I don't show you highs until a little bit later on, but I want to go ahead and tweak that right now. Look at the temperatures currently right now, mainly in the 40s and some 30s. We've also got some 50s already on the eastern part of the state. Now, those are our projected highs today. Kalispell, you should be around 40. These are some of the areas that could beat your highs on average today. Great Falls should be around 41. State Capital should be around 43. Glendive, look at you. Getting to the 50s today, you should be around 39, and Billings should be around 44. So we've got these warmer temperatures, and today's just not just one day. We're talking about the entire week. We're even looking at the 60s for some spots, maybe before we even get to the weekend. We'll take a look at that and the reasons why this is happening with the main forecast coming up here in just a bit. Andrew.
All right, Miller, thanks so much. New at noon, Park County, Wyoming search and rescue crews were quick to act after receiving a call about a group of 8 snowmobilers who went missing. That group went missing late Thursday, but by early the next morning, search and rescue had a team on the ground and eyes in the sky searching for the missing group. But after being spotted from the air in rough wilderness, crews decided the group would need to be airlifted out. As of today, all 8 men in that group were safely evacuated without any injury. The Montana Highway Patrol is seeking motorists involved in the Yellowstone Bridge pileup as they continue to investigate what led to that massive collision. But in the meantime, we're learning more about 2 victims who fell off the bridge and were critically injured. 17-year-old Gage and 19-year-old Celia were one of the first vehicles that crashed. Their grandmother says the teens immediately jumped into action when they saw a car dangling over the bridge with small children inside. But the other car crashes then carried those teens over the edge. They both now have critical injuries.
Celia and Gage looked back and they said, "There's babies and that car's going to go over the bridge." And they jumped off and they were gone while they were trying to get those 2 babies out of that one car. And then next thing, they were gone, they said. And Gage said all of a sudden it just shook and then we were on the ground.
Well, the teens were not able to help that family before they did fall. Another man was able to pull the children out of the car. Just so you know, there is a GoFundMe that's been set up to help them in their recovery. The Belgrade community is rallying around a family who lost their home to a fire. This was the scene on Green Tree Drive early Saturday morning. Firefighters say that home is a total loss, but a mother and her 3 kids were able to escape. The fire started in a back bedroom where they say the child was using a cigarette lighter. Both the mother and a bystander were then treated for smoke inhalation. It is a crucial week for President Joe Biden, nearly $2 trillion in that stimulus package. Well, the House passed their version of the bill over the weekend. Now the Senate will likely pass one this week. Raising the federal minimum wage remains a sticking point for Democrats, but they don't have the votes to include that in the package in the Senate. And Democrats want to pass that bill before bonus unemployment benefits expire on March 14th. More than 49 million Americans already have gotten at least one shot of the Moderna or Pfizer vaccines. Starting this week, the 1-dose inoculations from Johnson & Johnson will be available. Deborah Alfarone reports on why health experts say Americans should jump at the chance to get any vaccine they can.
Workers at Johnson & Johnson's facility in Kentucky packed up doses of the company's COVID-19 vaccine to get them ready to ship out. UPS tells CBS News it will be Tuesday morning before the shots arrive at the sites where people can actually get them into their arms. On Face the Nation, Dr. Anthony Fauci said Americans should not worry that clinical trials show Johnson & Johnson's vaccine offered slightly less overall protection than the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines.
They are highly efficacious in many ways, including, importantly, preventing severe or critical disease. If you look at all three of them, they're really very good.
On CBS This Morning, the company's CEO explained that some of the participants in its clinical trials were infected with variants of the virus that have become more widespread.
So whether it was the South African variant that we know is particularly challenging, or the P2 variant in Brazil, our vaccine showed 85% effectiveness in severe disease, and it kept all the patients out of the hospital and from dying.
Johnson & Johnson's vaccine is the first one approved in the U.S. that requires only a single dose. It also doesn't need to be stored in extreme cold temperatures, making it easier to distribute.
We think that the convenience, the ease of logistics that's going to represent will be significant.
Only around 4 million doses are in the initial shipment, so it may still be a while before the vaccine is available at a large number of vaccination sites.
The company expects to ship 20 million shots by the end of the month and 100 million by summer. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
The AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine has proven successful against the variants first discovered in the United Kingdom, and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine has also been shown to be effective against other variants in its trial. There is some hopeful news coming on the COVID-19 front lines. The number of people in hospitals infected with the virus has fallen below 50,000 for the first time in nearly 4 months, and the rate of infection has slowed. There are just 68 patients admitted to Montana hospitals with COVID-19, a little over 1,700 cases active in the state. As more people do get vaccinated, you might be wondering when it is a safe time to stop wearing your mask. Physicians say it's not really about the number of people getting vaccinated, instead about the COVID positivity rate in your community. Doctors say it's possible for numbers to go down at the end of 2021, but it won't necessarily mean it's safe to stop wearing your mask even by then. The Pearl Cafe in Missoula is getting new ownership, but that means it's going to temporarily close starting today. After 45 years in the culinary field, owner Pearl Cash is moving on from the business located on Front Street, and new owners will work to revamp the restaurant and remodel. The plan is to open back up during the summer sometime. A popular Missoula restaurant, El Cazador, that has opened its second location on South Avenue. The restaurant planned to expand prior to the pandemic, but due to the challenges of operating 2 locations with COVID-19 restrictions, the owner, Alfredo Hernandez, couldn't open the doors of the second location as early as planned. On President's Day, after a year of waiting, the location opened that business, and busy with customers was it.
It's been really hard to with this pandemic, but we got this restaurant before this thing happened. We've had it a month before. We bought it a month before, and the reason I did it because a lot of my customers they wanted it over here, and and it was hard, but we did it. So I got a lot of happy people. So we got a lot of comments, a lot of people very happy, excited that we're here, and we've been really busy.
Really good food there, as always. Well, he does say that the city of Missoula and the county health department helped to get that second location up and running despite being busy with the pandemic. A Townsend woman is still in the process of raising money to transform the old Ford dealership to a community center. We're checking in on her progress, and that building has sat vacant for 2 years. Heidi Bingham envisions basketball courts, indoor soccer, and more, and she's trying to raise $75,000 for the renovation. She also is writing a grant to help with that. We'll keep you posted on her progress. We do have more ahead on this Monday on the New News, including how Cascade County is getting children to read and doing it despite the pandemic. We're checking in. But first, Miller Robson's up with a look at those warmer temperatures coming to Montana.